Hey mathematics learners, welcome to Distance Learning with Lee, where I make learning mathematics super easy. So on today's video tutorial, guys, we are still going through the Gauteng province prelim examinations that were written in 2023, right? And in this video tutorial, guys, we are going to be having a look at the whole of question 2, okay? Yesterday we looked at question 1, and today we're going to be looking at question number 2, okay? With question 2, guys, I did mention that, okay, from here we are still interpreting the tables that are given to us. We're interpreting the data that is given to us, right? We also have some, finance, where we've got a bit of inflation calculations, but still, it's still very easy because we're given all the formulas that we need to use. And yeah, so it's just data handling, just interpreting these tables that are given to us in question 2.1, question 2.2, as well as question 2.3. Okay, so please make sure that you watch the entire video tutorial. This one is a bit jam-packed. You need to ensure that you're reading the information that is given to you correctly so that you do not make any unnecessary mistakes. Okay, so please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. You click on that notification bell so that you get notified every single time I upload a video tutorial, guys. And also please make sure that you share these video tutorials with your friends, because that really helps the channel grow, and it also just helps the channel to reach more learners that want to better their mathematics marks. Okay, so without any further ado, guys, let's get started with question 2. Question 2.1, okay, says that Johnson is a physiotherapist. He was contacted by Saru. We are told that Saru is the South African Rugby Union, to give the sevens rugby players a massage, okay, during the rugby tournament that was held in Cape Town during December 2022. Johnson hires 13 masseuses to perform this duty. Okay, so we are told there, we're given the definition of what a masseuse is, in case you didn't know what it is. And a masseuse is a person who provides a professional massage. Okay, so a person that provides a professional massage, guys, is called a masseuse. Then we're given a table here that we need to, use, and we need to fill in the missing values from this table, and we need to use this table to answer questions that are given to us. Okay, so let's see what is happening with this table. Okay, so we are told here that the number of sessions per day, if you have one session a day, okay, you'll need 13 masseuses, right? If you need 2 sessions per day, you'll need 26 masseuses. If you need 3 sessions a day, you'll need 39, and so on and so forth. Okay, so already as a mathematics learner, you need to get to a point where now, if you have one, if you only need one session, or for one session you need 13 masseuses, try to see if there's a pattern as you go to 2 sessions a day, to 3 sessions per day, 4 sessions per day, and you'll actually realize that, okay, to get the number of masseuses that you will need, you take the sessions per day and you multiply it by 13, because you just need to use that first column as your reference. If you just need one session, you need 13. Therefore, to move, what are they doing? If you take 2 times 13, okay, if you say 2 times 13, you'll get 26. If you take 3 times 13, you'll get 39. 4 times 13, you'll get 52. 5 times, so do you see there's a pattern going on there? Already your mind is working. We already know how we can get to A by just using that, right? Okay, so you need to get to a point where you're just thinking, okay, what am I given? Can that help me, determine an unknown value in this table? All right, so we already can see that pattern going on there. All right, let's have a look at question 2.1.1. It says, show by means of calculations that the income for a single massage is 135 rand. Okay, so we are told that if you just want a single massage, it is 135 rand. But we need to show how they got to that value. Okay, so how can we do that? So we can just look at the first column there. Okay, we can see that the income in rands is 1,755. Okay, and how many masseuses do we need? It's 13. Okay, so for us to then get the income, right, for one masseuse or for one massage, right, you just need to then take, okay, you can just literally take that 1,755, you divide it by the total number of masseuses, which is 13, and that will give you the how much it costs just for one massage. Remember, we just want one session a day. Remember, we've got 7 rugby players, right? That is why we need so many masseuses, right? And therefore, from there, for just one session, okay, we really need to just take that 1,755 and divide it by 13, and that will give you 135 rand. Okay, so you'll see, even if you take that 135 and you multiply it by the 13 masseuses, you'll still get to that income of 1,755. Okay, all right. Okay, cool. So let's have a look at question 2.1.2. It says calculate the value of A and B. Okay, so we can calculate the value of A firstly by just taking that 14,040 and divide it by the price, okay, for just one massage. That will give you how many masseuses you will basically need. Or you can just take the 8 and you multiply that by 13, and that will also give you the masseuses that you'll need. Okay, so you can either do it like that or like that. It just depends on what your brain sees at that particular instance. Okay, so for question 2.1.2, okay, if you want to find A, remember I said that you can just take the 8 and multiply it by 13. Okay, this is just the pattern that we saw as you basically increase the number of sessions to get the total number of masseuses. You just multiply it by 13. So 2 times 13, 3 times 13, 4 times 13, okay, and 8 times 13. And that will basically give us 104 masseuses, okay, or to get A, okay, you can just do the reverse. We already know what is the income in rand, okay? So the income in rand is equal to that 14,040, and we want to divide that. Remember, we found that for one session, or one massage, one massage or one session costs 135 rand. So you can divide that by 135 rand. So if you divide it by 135 rand, that still gives you 104 masseuses. Okay, so either one of those, I think, will be marked correct. Okay, now let's have a look at B. How do we calculate B? Okay, still very easy. If we know that you need 39 masseuses, right? You're just going to take that 39 and you're going to multiply that with 135 rand, because that is the price that you pay for each masseuse per session. Okay, so in this case, then you'll just take B is equal to 39, you multiply it by 135, and that basically gives us 5,265. Okay, so that is the value for B and that is the value for A. All right, let's have a look at the next question. Question 2.3 says complete the following formula to calculate the total income per session. Okay, how do they get the total income, okay, per session? Remember, for us to get the total income in rands per session, what did we do? We just literally took the number of masseuses, right? So we took the number of masseuses and then we multiplied that, right, with the price for a single massage. Okay, so we can just then say, okay, so question 2.1.3, okay, that the total income per session, okay, per session is equal to, right, remember we said the number of masseuses and then we multiply that with the price for a single session, okay, and this is the formula that we basically use, okay, for the total income per session. Let's have a look at question 2.1.4. Prove that the total income for the weekend, if they start working on a Friday, okay, so this is very important. We want to calculate what is the total income, okay, for the weekend, okay. If they start working on a Friday and finish on a Saturday, okay, we want to show that the total income is 78,795, and we are told that there are 15 sessions per week. Okay, so the first thing here, guys, right? How much is this physiotherapist? Okay, because obviously it's his company, right? He's massaging these, rugby players and, getting them relaxed and ready for the games that they're going to play, right? And we are told that now there are going to be 15 sessions per day. Okay, there are going to be 15 sessions per day. And we want to calculate how much is the income that this physiotherapist is going to make, right? If he now takes these players on Friday, on Saturday, and on Sunday for 15 sessions per day. Okay, so now to get the total income, what are we going to do? So this is question 2.4. Okay, to get the total income that he's going to get, guys, right? We first need to determine, right, how many sessions are they going to basically have. It's going to be 15 sessions per day. So if it's 15 sessions per day and you're starting on Friday, it's going to be 15 plus 15 plus 15. Okay, so that means that it's going to be 15 times 3. Okay, so it's going to be 15 times 3. We want to determine how many sessions. This is just for the sessions, okay? And then remember, guys, if we have 15 sessions per day, right, we then need to determine how many masseuses will we then need, okay? So we know, remember, we saw this pattern as we were going through this table when we were analyzing what the information that was given to us. We saw that for us to get the total number of masseuses, you take the number, so we said the total number of masseuses, okay? We take the number of sessions, okay? And you multiply, so this is sessions per day, and we multiply that by 30. Okay, so now we found that for those 3 days, we will need 15 times 3 sessions, but we still need to multiply that by 30 because we're trying to actually determine then how many masseuses will we get. Okay, so we can first maybe just take, so that I don't confuse you, we can just take 15 multiplied by 3. Okay, 15 multiplied by 3. Then when I multiplied by 13, okay, this is for the sessions. Okay, then this is going to give us the total number of masseuses. Okay, and then from there, we know if we have the total number of masseuses, then we can just multiply that by the rate, okay, for the rate per session, okay, so which is equal to 135. So that is what we basically need to do. All right, okay, so let's do that. So from there, if you take 15, you multiply by 3, you multiply by 13, you will get that we actually need 585 masseuses. Okay, then from there we're going to multiply that with the price per session, and then from there you'll find that the total income that they'll make over the weekend is actually equal to 78,995. Okay, so that is how they got to that total income of 78,975. Okay, right, let's have a look at question 2.1.5. It says that Johnson pays each masseuse 1,000 rand for the weekend, okay, and 50 rand per massage. He needs to rent a room at the Cape Town Stadium to perform these massages, which cost 4,800 per day. Calculate the total expenses and express the total income to total expenses as a ratio in unit form. Okay, so we already know that. Okay, we are told that Johnson pays each of his masseuses 1,000 rand for the weekend. Okay, so this is just the total amount that each masseuse will get for the weekend. Okay, so they're not getting paid per session, they are just getting paid that amount or that rate for the whole weekend. Okay, then we are also told that they're also given 50 rand per massage. Okay, then he told that he needs to pay 480 per day. I mean 4,800 per day. So we want to first find what is then, okay, the ratio in unit form. So if they say in unit form, that basically means that you can leave your answer in decimal form. Okay, so you want to determine what is the ratio of the total income to the total expenses. So before we can even get to, getting to the ratio, we need to determine what are Johnson's expenses. So now let's go through that. Okay, so the first thing we need to do with this question, right? So the total expenses over the weekend, remember, okay, we already know that there's 15 sessions. We multiply that by 3 days, okay? Then we've got how many masseuses? Remember, if you've got these sessions, the number of sessions we need to multiply by the 13 masseuses to basically be able to get how many massages we will get. Okay, so I think here this is actually the total massage. Let's just fix that total number of massages. Okay, so it's the number of sessions multiplied by the 13 masseuse to basically give us the total massages that you'll basically need. Okay, so the total expenses will take the 15 sessions multiplied by 3 days multiplied by the total masseuse to get the total massages that we'll need. Okay, then from there we still multiply that by 50 rand because we are told that they are paid 50 rand per massage. So we multiply that by 50 rand. So this value here that we will get, okay, this value that we'll get by taking that 15 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 13, this will just give us the massages, the total massages, okay, and then you multiply that with 50 plus, okay, then we are told that he's just gonna pay his masseuses 1,000 rand for the weekend. So we already know that we just have 13 masseuses, right? So we're gonna multiply that with 1,000. So that is how much he's gonna pay them, okay, plus, okay, from there we need to then take, remember he rents out these rooms for 4,800. So 4,800, we multiply that by 3. Okay, so by actually adding up all these values together, we will be able to determine the total expenses. Okay, so if you take 15 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 13 multiplied by 50, you will get that it is 29,250 plus, okay, 13 multiplied by 1,000, this will basically give us 13,000, okay, plus, okay, 4,800 multiplied by 3, this should give us 14,400. So if you add all these values together, you'll find that the total expenses are equal to 56,000 650. Okay, but however, guys, we are not done. Remember, this is a ratios question. They're asking us to basically give the ratio of the total income to the total expenses. Ratio of total income. Write it the way that they tell you. Total income, okay, to total expenses. Okay, what is the total income? We already calculated the total income in question 2.1.4. It was 78,975. So you put that 78,975. Two, what are the total expenses? We calculated them to be 56,650. Okay, and then remember, guys, when we want to now determine the ratio of something, we want it to be in the form of 1:2 something. Okay, so in this case, all that's left for us to just do here, we can just divide both sides by 78,975, and then you'll have 1:2. Okay, so if you divide 56,650 and you divide it by 78,975, you will get 0.717315606. Okay, so that is the value in ratio form. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like this. One income is to 0.717 expenses. So I'm going to write it as 1:0.717. Okay, so when I was looking at the memo is saying 1.394 income is to 1 expenses. So this is basically, guys, it's honestly just still the same thing. Okay, so it can be 1:0.717. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like this because I feel like when you're writing ratios, you want it to be in the form of 1:2 something, right? So it can be 1:0.717. Okay, cool. Right. Okay, cool. So that is basically the last question for question 2.1, right? And now we're going to be having a look at question 2.2. So for question 2.2, guys, right, nice and easy. We're going to be working with the information that is given to us here. We're going to be calculating a percentage increase when it comes to the hourly rate that is paid by a domestic company, and we're going to take it from there. Okay, so let's have a look at what is given to us here. It says HRM Domestic is a company that helps domestic workers to find jobs. They ensure that domestic workers are not underpaid for the work that they do. Income is based on an hourly, weekly, and monthly rates. Workers work 45 hours per week and 195 hours per month. Okay, so what's very important here is that we are told that workers work 45 hours a week and they also work 195 hours per month. Okay, so we're given the minimum income rate in rands in for January to December 2021, as well as from January to December 2022. So what was the hourly rate from January to December 2021? We can see that the hourly rate was 19 Rand and 09 cents. What was the weekly rate? The weekly rate was 859 Rand and 05 cents. What was the monthly rate? It's 3,722.55 cents. Okay, so already, guys, you should be asking yourself, how are they getting to these figures? Okay, already, if we are told that, okay, the total amount of hours that they work per week is 45 hours. Okay, we can literally just check if they're working 45 hours. Okay, if I take that weekly rate of 859.05 and I divide it with 45 hours that they worked, am I going to get the hourly rate of 19.09? Okay, so if you take 859.05 and you divide it with 19.09, I mean, divided by 45 hours, okay, we do get 19.09. So already as we are going down, we're already trying to like figure out how they calculated all the values that are given to us there. So we already see that if you take the weekly amount, okay, of 859.05 and you divide it with that 45 hours. This is the week, 45 hours per week, okay, you'll see that it basically gives you that hourly rate of 19.09. Okay, so this is gonna give you 19 rand per hour. All right, so already we can see how are they getting to the values. So your mind needs to be constantly, looking at such things. Okay, so study the table above and answer the questions that follow. Question 2.2.2, determine the value of C, which is the minimum hourly rate for 2022. Okay, we already know that they're working 45 hours per week. So if they're working 45 hours per week, weekly, right, you can just take that rate for the week. That is the total amount that they getting paid in a week. So to get the amount that they're being paid per hour, okay, we just need to take, so to get the hourly rate, okay, we just need to take that 1,043.55. That was obviously the weekly rate that is given to us. We already know that, okay, in 1 week they work 45 hours. So 45 hours, okay, per week, okay. Here, this is just the weekly rates. This is 1,043 rand 55 per week. Okay, so from here, if you divide these two values together, you'll see that you'll actually get 23 rand and 90, okay, hours. Okay, 23 rand and 19, and that is basically the hourly rate that they got paid, or the domestic company paid its workers from January to December 2022. Okay, right. Let's have a look at question 2.2.2. It says determine the percentage increase, okay, in monthly income, right? So we want to just focus on the monthly income, rounded off to one decimal place. Okay, so here, guys, we don't really have to be cracking our skulls. We know, even though it's inflation calculations, right, we are using this formula that is given to us, right, that the percentage increase is equal to new income minus old income divided by old income multiplied by 100. That is how we're going to determine what was the percentage increase, okay, for the monthly income from 2021 to 2022. Okay, so we're going to just take that formula that is given to us, we're going to write it the way that it is. Okay, so what was the new income? So the most recent income for the month was 4,522.05. Okay, minus what was the old income? The old income, right, for the month was 3,722.55. Okay, then we're going to divide that by what is the old income? It was the 3,722.55 multiplied by 100. Literally, we are just punching these values into your calculator. You'll get 21.4772.132%. Remember, they just asked us to round it off to just one decimal place. So we just want one decimal place, okay? So what do we need to do? We need to look at that 7. That 7 is going to tell us what we need to do to that 4. So that 7 is just telling us we need to change that 4 and increase it a value up by 1. Okay, so it's going to be 21.5%. Okay, so that was the percentage increase in the monthly income, okay, from 2021 to 2022. Okay, let's have a look at question 2.2.3. It's saying Steffi asked if she could work overtime to earn extra money. Okay, the person she works for agreed and she could work on Saturdays for 200 per day for only 5 hours. Okay, so we are told that she's working for 200 per day, and in that day she is working 5 hours. Okay, so we can already see that on Saturdays, okay, we can already see that on Saturdays, okay, right, we are told that she is getting paid 200 per day and she is working for 5 hours. Okay, so already here we can get the rate that she is getting paid per hour on a Saturday. So if you take 200 and you divide it by 5 hours, what are you getting? You'll actually see that, okay, the rate, okay, if she works on Saturday, okay, is 40 Rand per hour. Okay, so that is the hourly rate for Saturday. All right. Okay, so determine her hourly wage for that day and state whether she was paid the correct minimum wage per hour. Okay, so the first part of this question, we've already calculated, okay, that the hourly wage for that day is what? It's 40 Rand per hour. We simply took that 200 and we divided by 5 hours, which gave us 40 Rand per hour. Okay. Secondly, we need to state whether she was paid a correct minimum wage per hour for the 2020 22 year. Okay, so we already know that for the 2022 year, what was the minimum wage that people had to be paid? Okay, or the domestic workers had to be paid. They had to be paid 23 Rand and 90. However, we can see that when she works on a Saturday, she's getting paid more than that minimum wage. Okay, so she's actually getting paid more than. She's not getting paid less than the minimum wage. She's getting paid more than the minimum wage. Okay, so that is actually, or obviously, then the correct amount. Okay, so therefore we can just say she is. Okay, so we can just say that she was paid more than the minimum wage on Saturdays. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here for question 2.2. And with question 2.2, guys, I can just say that, I mean, question 2.2 was really easy. Okay, we were given the formula that you're supposed to use to help us with like the, inflation calculations there. We can calculate C by just having a look at, what was done using the hours that was given to us and then dividing that with the weekly rate to be able to determine what is the hourly rate, right? So this question was really just fairly easy. Just needed us to, look at the statements that were given to us and just see how we can use it to check how they got to the tables. I mean, the values that are given to us in the tables. Okay, right. Now let's have a look at the last question for question 2. Okay, so the last question here, guys, right, we're going to be analyzing this table, and this table we are told that, right, this is basically a form that helps you, determine how much you can claim for your fixed traveling, for the fuel claim, for the maintenance claim, okay, depending on the value of the vehicle that you have if you work in this particular company. Okay, so we're going to have a look at that. So question 2.3 says Mr. Navidad works for Let's Pack, right? He is a salesman who travels widely to advertise products that Let's Pack sells. Okay, he drives a 2018 Ford Ranger Bucky that has a current value of 259,900. Okay, he travels 1,500 kilometers on average per month. That is important information. That is the total amount of kilometers on average, okay, that he travels each month, right? We are told the value of this Baki, right? And we're told the travel allowance can only be claimed the following month after the number of kilometers traveled have been submitted for claims. His monthly travel allowance consists of a predetermined amount for the current value of the vehicle as well as fuel and maintenance costs. Okay, so we're told that, okay, the monthly allowance is your predetermined amount for the current value of the vehicle, as well as fuel and maintenance costs. So it consists of the fixed traveling cost, the fuel claim, and then the maintenance claim. Okay, question 2.3.1. Okay, we're obviously told to study the table above and answer the questions that follow. It says calculate Mr. Navidad's monthly fixed traveling claim. Okay, what is his monthly fixed traveling claim? Right, so the first thing we need to do, guys, we need to look at the table, right, and see in which block, right, does the value of his car place him in. Okay, so we can see that because the value of Mr. Navidad's car, let's just make this bigger so that we can see what's happening. Okay, because his car is 259,900, that basically puts him on this row. Okay, because his car exceeds 190,000, okay, but does not exceed 285,000. Okay, so we are going to be looking at this row when having to then calculate, okay, his fixed traveling claim for the month. Okay, so now let's see what's given to us here. We're given the fixed traveling claim. This is the rand per annum. So this value that is given to us here, this 76,033, this is the fixed amount or fixed traveling claim per annum. Okay, so for us to get the monthly fixed traveling claim, we need to just take the 76,033 and we need to divide that by 12 months. By dividing by 12 months, we will be able to get the monthly fixed traveling claim. Okay, so let's just quickly do that. Okay, so for question 2.3.1, the monthly fixed traveling claim is going to be equal to that 76,033, and we're going to divide that by 12 because there's 12 months in a year, and this is going to give us 6,336 point. It's going to be 0.83333. Okay, then because this is where we're going to leave our answer just once the monthly fixed traveling claim. Can't leave our answer in this form. Okay, we can just say then it's 6,336.08 rand. Okay, cool stuff. Right, so that is Mr. Navidad's monthly fixed traveling claim. Question 2.3.2, it says, Mr. Navidad is thinking of buying a newer model vehicle that has a value of 480,000. Calculate the missing value D that will represent Mr. Navidad's monthly maintenance cost if he decides to buy this vehicle. Okay, the amount for his maintenance claim is 1,329. Okay, so we need to find what is that value D. We want to calculate the value D. Okay, and we are told that, remember, D basically represents the maintenance claim. Okay, and it is in cents per kilometer. Okay, so let's just write that down. Okay, so D, we already know that that is the maintenance claim. Okay, and the maintenance claim is given in cents per kilometer. Okay, so now already here, right, we already know that that value D, which is the maintenance claim, right, is given in cents per kilometer. Okay, but here we are given that the maintenance claim, right, is just 1,329. We want to change that value into the rate that you'll pay towards your maintenance claim in cents per kilometer. So the first thing we want to do is we want to convert that 1,329 into cents. Then we want to determine how many kilometers does Mr. Navidad travel per month. Then we're going to divide those cents that we get with the months, and that will basically give us that rate for the maintenance claim if he basically gets a vehicle that has a value of 480,000. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, we want to convert, right? We already know that the maintenance claim Okay, we already know that the maintenance claim is equal to 1,329, right? Okay, but we know that we want it to be in a rate, okay, that represents how many cents would you pay per kilometer that you drive. Okay, and we already know that monthly, right, he travels 1,500 kilometers. Okay, so I already know that to get the rate, we just need to take the cents, divide. Literally, it's telling us what we need to do to get the rate. The cents divide by kilometers. But we've got the issue there. Okay, this is not given in cents. So we need to convert that value from rands into cents, and then from there we take it from there. Okay, so how do we convert rands into cents? We already know that 1 rand is equal to 100 cents. Why is this? We already know that to get 1 rand, how many 10 cents will we need? We will need 10 cents. So if you take 10 cents and you multiply it by 10, that is how we get to that 100 cents there. Okay, right. And then from there, simple, right? We are literally going to take that 1,329 rands. We want to convert this value into cents. So same thing again, multiply by what we want, 100 cents divided by what we have, 1 rand, because we want to see are the units canceling. Okay, the units need to cancel. So if we take 1,329 multiplied by 100, this is going to give us 132,900 cents. Okay, right? So we already have the maintenance claim in cents, and then from there to get, therefore, our value D, remember it's in cents per kilometer. We just take the maintenance claim in cents, okay, cents, and we divide that by the kilometers that he drives per month, kilometers. What are we noticing? Do you see that these units are not going anywhere? So if you punch that into your calculator, you'll find that then the maintenance claim, right, or the rate for the maintenance claim is actually equal to 88.6 cents per kilometer. Okay, so that is that value D there that they were looking for. All right, question 2.3.3, last question. Okay, Mr. Navidad decides not to buy the newer vehicle. Okay, he decides, nah, I'm not going to buy this new vehicle. And he states that he could claim back 8,825 after tax is deducted for his monthly travel allowance. Okay, he will be taxed at, okay, we are told that he will be taxed at 25% of the actual amount that he can claim. So we want to show by means of calculations whether his statement is correct. Okay, so here guys, what we are trying to basically calculate, okay, we want to check to see if he can actually claim back 8,825. Okay, how are we going to do that? The first thing we want to calculate, right, how much is he actually going to be taxed, right? So we are told that he will be taxed at 25% of the actual amount that he can claim. So we're going to literally write that sentence like that, right? Question 2.3.3, okay? Question 2.3.3, okay? We are told literally, okay, the amount that he will be taxed, right, is going to be 25% of the actual amount he can claim. Okay, 25% of the actual amount he can claim. Okay, so we want to actually be able to calculate what is the actual amount that he can claim, because if we can calculate the actual amount that he can claim, then we will be able to determine the 25% of that amount that he's going to be taxed, right? And then from there, we can subtract that amount, okay, to basically get the total amount that he can claim. So let's actually take this step by step. So what is the actual amount that he can claim? All right. So we're going to go back. We are given here the formula that we can use to calculate the amount that he can claim. Right. We're told that the claim is equal to the monthly fixed traveling claim plus the kilometers driven multiplied by the fuel claim plus the kilometers driven multiplied by the maintenance claim, right? We need to remember that he does not buy the newer vehicle, okay? So that basically means that we are still going to be using that row here to basically get your fixed traveling claim, your fuel claim, maintenance claim. We are going to be using that row, okay? So let's just quickly rewrite this equation on this page, okay? And this equation is going to help us calculate what is the actual amount that he can claim. That is what we're trying to determine. Once we can determine that amount, okay, then we can substitute it into the equation to determine how much he's actually going to be taxed, and then we are going to take it from there, okay? So the claim, okay, to get the amount that he can claim, remember, we have basically been told that it's equal to the monthly fixed. Remember, in the table we were given the amount for per annum. So we that basically means that we need to use this 6,000 336 amount 0.08 cents, okay, to help us then calculate the actual amount that he can claim. All right. Okay, so from here, we've just written down the equation. What was the monthly fixed traveling claim, guys? We already calculated that to be 6,336.08 plus. What are the kilometers that he travels per month? Remember, we were told that he travels 1,500 kilometers multiplied by, okay, what is the fuel? Okay, so what I'm basically going to do here, guys, before I continue, I'm going to convert the fuel claim, okay, that's given to us in cents per kilometers into rands per kilometers, okay? And then by doing that, I'll just have the final answer in rands, okay? Because we don't want our answer to be in rands and cents. We just want the claim to be in rands. So I'm going to convert that. How do you convert 159.7 into rands per kilometer? You can just take the 159.7 and you divide that by 100. So that will give us a rate of, okay, that'll give us a rate of 1,500 kilometers, and then we multiply that. This is just going to be 1 rand 0.597 per kilometer. I've divided that by 100 because remember, guys, 1 rand is equal to 100 cents, okay? Then from there, plus, I'm going to take that 1,500 kilometers. I'm going to multiply it by, take that 56.3, I divide it by 100, and that is basically going to give me, okay, 0.563 rands per kilometer, okay? From there, just makes our life super easy. Just take that 6,336.08 plus, we take that 1,500, we multiply by that rate of 1.597, that is going to give us 2,395.50 plus, okay, we take that 1,500, we multiply by 0.563, that is going to give us 844.50. If we add up all these values together, you'll see that this is actually going to give us, let me just write it down. Okay, this is going to give us 3,240, and then in total, this is just 9,576.08. So that's the total value that he can claim monthly. All right. Okay. So some person here might have just left those values in cents and then you converted it later into rands. That's still fine. You'll still get to the same answer. I just chose to convert my values or the rate first into rands per kilometer, and then from there it just took me to an answer in rands. Okay, cool. So that is the rate. Okay, but remember guys, we were trying to then determine, let me just make this smaller. Okay, we are basically trying to determine how much can he basically be taxed. Okay, so we already know that the amount that he can be taxed, we wrote that equation down. Okay, we said that the amount that he can be taxed, right, is equal to 25% of the claim amount that we've calculated. So if you take 25%, okay, 25 is the same, percent is the same as saying 25 divided by 100. You multiply it by, what is the claim? It's 9,576.08. You'll get that the amount that he can be taxed, right, is 2,394.02. So that is the amount that he can actually get taxed. But remember now, what did he say? He said that that he could claim back 8,825. So if he can be taxed 2,394.02 cents out of that 9,000, okay, how much can he actually claim back? So the amount that he can claim back, okay, therefore the amount, okay, will just be that 9,576.08 minus the amount that he will be taxed, because this is how much he can claim. This is how much he will be taxed, or how much they will take from him, okay, the government. So it's 2,394.02. Okay, so if you punch this into your calculator, you'll see that the amount that he can actually claim back, right, is just equal to 7,182. So we can see that actually his claim is invalid, or it's incorrect, because he said, remember, that he can get back 8,825. Okay, but we calculated that he can claim 7,182. Okay, so that basically tells us that his statement was incorrect. Okay, so that is that, guys, for today's video tutorial. Question 2.1, question 2.2, and question 2.3, right? And like I mentioned, with these questions, guys, it was basically mostly just analyzing these tables that were given to us and answering questions pertaining to them. The tip here is that as you're going through these tables, try to look for a pattern. What did they do in the first column? Okay, how do they move from the first column to the second column? Just trying to look for a pattern there to help you calculate these missing values. Okay, this is obviously a trick that you also see when you're also just looking at, your financial documents. If the previous amount is this, and I'm getting this amount added to my account, what is the next amount? So you look for a pattern. What is happening? Okay, how are the numbers moving from one value to another? Okay, so here it's just purely just looking at your patterns, practicing, so that you can just familiarize yourself with how you can look for these types of patterns. With inflation, it was nice and easy. We were given the formula there, nothing difficult about that question. With this question 2.3, it's just now understanding that these claims, right, the fuel claims and the maintenance claim, okay, is given to us in cents per kilometer, in the rate cents per kilometer. So if we want to make calculations, calculate how much a person needs to pay, we need to convert that into rands per kilometer. Okay, once it's in rands per kilometer, that just makes our life super easy, because from there, okay, we are able to then, if you multiply with the kilometers traveled, the kilometers cancel and you get the rate in rands. Okay, also something very important to remember, how many cents are in 1 rand, because that is the conversion that's going to help us tackle this question. And we found that, okay, 1 rand is equal to 100 cents. And then from there, if we want to calculate, change this rate into a rate in rands per kilometer, just divide it by 100 cents. Okay, divide that by 100 cents, and then from there it becomes super easy. Even if you decided that you didn't want to convert that into rands per kilometer, you'll still get your value in cents, and then you still need to convert that total cents value into francs. Okay, so it just depends on what you wanted to do as you're going through those steps. Okay, the next question, guys, we are going to be going through question 3.1. Question 3.1, guys, it is still data handling. So like I mentioned, the whole, like a huge chunk of this past paper is data handling. If you just want to revise data handling as a whole, just go through these preliminary examinations. You'll see that it contains a lot. Okay, your bar graphs, your histograms, your pie charts, even with the year 2022. So if you really want to just do a recap of those topics, sharpen your skill when it comes to data handling, please have a look at these past papers. Okay, so I'm going to end it here, guys. I'm going to see you guys in my next video tutorial. We're going to be going through the whole of question 3. And the last one would be the whole of question 4, which deals with taxation. So I'll see you on the next upload, guys. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and also please make sure that you have clicked on that like button. Goodbye. That is it, guys, and I'll see you guys on my next upload, Distance Learning with Lee, where I make learning mathematics super easy. Bye, guys.